Hey guys, Adam Maynard here. Today I want to talk to you about the 3 levels of abandonment. Abandonment is a really touchy subject when it comes to relationships. It can be really painful, really confusing. And so I want to highlight this in depth and give you a little bit more information that'll help you navigate it more easily and not feel so topsy-turvy throughout. So what is the first level of abandonment? The first level is the one that we all know and love. It's the obvious one. It's when someone leaves. It's when someone's here one day and gone the next. They reject us. They betray us. The terms of the relationship shift suddenly, and we're left wondering what the heck happened. In and of itself, level 1 can be pretty painful, but it's actually in levels 2 and 3 where the real pain comes in. Level 2 is where we choose to focus our attention after the real life material abandonment. So someone leaves, and then what do? Do we obsess over them? Do we focus on them? The why did this happen? Why did they do this? How could they do this? Where have they gone? And we kind of peer over the fence of the relationship to their side with our binoculars, trying to spot them, trying to understand them, trying to call them back, trying to figure out what may have motivated them to act the way that they did and leave us in the way that they did. And I think there's a natural impulse and a healthy impulse to want to know and to kind of be inquisitive and to explore, the serious and the intense moments in our lives, and also with the people that we really care about, and that impulse, I think, is fine. But the difference is, and the abandonment comes in this level 2, is if we fixate there and if we stay there, and if that is the only consideration that's going through our head in that moment. Because think about it, if we're sitting there only looking for them, only thinking about them, only wondering about them, who are we leaving out of that equation? We're leaving out ourselves. We're leaving out our experience. We're leaving out our feelings. We're leaving out our, complicated mix of emotions. And we have gone in this second level and abandoned ourselves a second time over. Because we are not attending to ourselves. We are not even, quote unquote, with ourselves. We are still with the other person emotionally, psychologically, even though they've left us. The way to not abandon ourselves in level 2 is to balance that focus. It's fine to focus on what the other person is doing, to understand why we're facing the situation that we are, why we're facing the confusion that we are, but we also have to be with ourselves and really attend to ourselves in our moment of most intense need. So if level 2 is where we focus our attention, and if level 1 is what the other person has actually gone and done, level 3, and this is the deepest level of abandonment, is if we have even focused our attention on ourselves, if in that level 2 we actually are attending to ourselves, what is the quality and the composition of that attention? Basically, how are we speaking to ourselves? And what are we making the level 1 abandonment mean about us? Are we beating up on ourselves? Are we rejecting ourselves? Are we talking about how worthless we are and how it's our fault that this other person decided to leave us? And I think it's no surprise that this is the moment where a lot of the pain comes in, and this is the moment where a lot of the suffering comes in, because we are taking what is a tenuous moment, we are taking what is when we're in a really fragile state and we're just going the whole 9 yards, we're really exacerbating it and making ourselves responsible for something. Not only making ourselves responsible for something, but making really essential aspects of who we are responsible for that pain. And that's when we get really twisted and really in this tumultuous space where we feel really extra worthless, and we feel really extra that we haven't been valued, and that we aren't even valuable in the first place. And I think this breakdown and this understanding of the 3 levels of abandonment is really important, because we actually have full and complete control over the second and the third level of abandonment. Level 1, we can't control what someone else does. If someone wants to get up and leave, kind of ditch us in the dead of night, block us, ghost us, whatever, they can do that. They're an autonomous adult with free will. Whether or not that's a respectful or polite thing to do, whatever, but they have the right to do that because they've done it. For us, in level 2 and level 3, we can decide where we focus our attention. We can decide whether we obsess and we fixate over their side of the equation at the expense of our own. And we can also decide how we want to talk to ourselves when someone abandons us and what we want to make that experience mean about us and who we are. And if we can really bring our awareness to those second and third levels when someone abandons us, I think we can really transform our experience of it, because we're not going to feel as neglected, and we're not going to feel as punished for something that's ultimately not our fault. And if we can really see that and kind of see that as the light at the end of the tunnel, and use that as our lifeline to pull us through the intense experiences that abandonment can obviously be, I think we'll ultimately be on a lot steadier footing throughout, and absolutely when we get out the other side, because we have remained with ourselves even if someone else has left us. And I think that's really what it's all about.